The truth about high cholesterol and statins is something that has been hidden in plain sight. And if you are over 50, you probably have already been told at some point by your doctor that your cholesterol is too high, that your risk for heart disease is climbing, and that the safest and most effective solution is to take a statin pill every single day for the rest of your life. It sounds simple, right? A small pill, a big promise. But the truth is never that simple. When we talk about the truth about high cholesterol and statins, we need to pause, breathe, and look deeper, because for too long, millions of people have been scared into believing that cholesterol is a deadly poison in their blood, something to attack and destroy at all costs. And statins have been presented as the ultimate weapon. But let me share a story with you. A man named John, 62 years old, sat across from his doctor. He was healthy, walked every morning, enjoyed home-cooked meals with his wife, and never smoked. But after one routine checkup, he was told his cholesterol was high. Immediately, the prescription pad came out, and the doctor said, "You need a statin." John asked, "What happens if I don't take it?" The doctor frowned and said, "You'll increase your risk of heart disease. This is your only option." John left the office confused, worried, and carrying a bottle of pills. But here's where the truth begins to peel back. Cholesterol is not a poison. It is a vital molecule in your body. Every single cell in your body needs cholesterol to build healthy membranes. Your brain, which makes up only about 2% of your body weight, contains nearly 25% of your body's cholesterol. Hormones like estrogen, testosterone, and even vitamin D are all built from cholesterol. So why are we told it is the enemy? The story goes back decades, to a time when scientists were desperate to find a culprit for the rising rates of heart attacks in America. Cholesterol became the villain, and drug companies saw an opportunity. Statins were born marketed as miracle drugs. But here's what many don't know. The research linking high cholesterol directly to heart attacks is more complicated than it seems. Yes, very high levels of LDL cholesterol can contribute to plaque buildup in arteries. But cholesterol itself is not the fire. It is more like the firefighter arriving at the scene of inflammation. The real issue often lies in inflammation, oxidative stress, poor diet, smoking, stress, and lack of movement. When arteries are inflamed, cholesterol rushes in to patch things up. Blaming cholesterol is like blaming the firemen for the fire. Think about that for a moment. Now, let's talk about statins. Statins work by blocking an enzyme in the liver that makes cholesterol, lowering LDL levels in the blood. They have been shown to reduce heart attack risk in certain people, especially those who already had a heart event or who carry multiple higher risk factors. But here is the truth you rarely hear in a prescription office. Statins also come with side effects, sometimes subtle, sometimes life-changing. Muscle pain and weakness, memory problems, fatigue, even higher risk of type 2 diabetes in some individuals. I've spoken to countless people over 50 who told me, "I took the pill, but I didn't feel like myself anymore." Their energy dropped. Their spark dimmed, but they were told to keep taking it. Because numbers on a blood test mattered more than how they actually felt. Now, let me be clear. I'm not telling you to throw your statins away. For some people, especially those with a history of heart attacks, strokes, or genetic cholesterol disorders, statins can be life-saving. But for many others, especially those simply told, your cholesterol is a bit high. Without any deeper investigation, there may be another way. Here's the perspective that's rarely discussed. Instead of only chasing lower cholesterol numbers, why not focus on what truly reduces heart disease risk? Because studies show that people with normal cholesterol levels still have heart attacks. While some with high cholesterol live long, vibrant lives, the difference lies in lifestyle, inflammation, stress, and daily choices. For example, eating real whole foods instead of processed ones, moving your body every day, sleeping deeply, managing stress through breathing, prayer, or meditation. These things may sound simple, but they directly lower inflammation, improve artery function, and bring balance back to your body. That's why I tell my friends over 50, don't just focus on the number. On your lab test, focus on the life you are living every single day. And here's another piece of the truth. Not all cholesterol is the same. LDL is often called bad cholesterol, but even LDL has subtypes. Large, fluffy LDL particles are less dangerous than small, dense ones, which are more likely to cause damage. What influences those? Your diet and lifestyle, not just your genetics. Sugar and refined carbs can make LDL particles more harmful than natural fats ever could. Isn't it interesting that for decades we were told to avoid eggs, butter, and red meat because of cholesterol? But now research shows that sugar and processed foods may be the true enemy? This is the truth about high cholesterol and statins that the system rarely explains in simple words. But when you know it, you can reclaim your health choices. Imagine if instead of immediately prescribing a pill, doctors spent an hour teaching patients about cooking whole foods, walking every day, finding ways to release stress. Imagine if the prescription was not just a pill, but a lifestyle plan. That would change lives. But the pill is faster, easier, more profitable. And so here we are, with millions swallowing statins without ever asking, is this truly the only path for me? My personal reflection is this: medicine should empower, not frighten. It should give options, not ultimatums. And as we age past 50, our greatest strength is knowledge. Knowledge that our bodies are not broken machines, but adaptable systems. Knowledge that healing comes from balance, not just suppression. Knowledge that we have more power than we've been told. If you're listening to this and nodding, maybe because you've been prescribed statins, or maybe because you've felt the fear of a high cholesterol reading, I want you to know you are not powerless. You can ask questions. You can request deeper tests like checking for inflammation markers or calcium scores, not just cholesterol numbers. You can discuss with your doctor whether your risk truly requires medication or whether lifestyle can carry much of the weight. And most importantly, you can take daily actions that create real health. Cook with fresh vegetables, add fiber, enjoy omega-3 rich fish, reduce sugar, walk after meals, breathe slowly when stress rises. These small habits repair the inner environment where disease begins. That is not alternative medicine, that is real, science-backed, human medicine. Now, let's return to John, the man I mentioned earlier. He decided to learn more before committing to lifelong medication. He spoke with his doctor about alternatives, began walking with his wife every evening, cut down on processed snacks, learned to enjoy cooking with olive oil and fish. 6 months later, his numbers improved, but more importantly, his energy soared. He said, "For the first time, I feel like I'm in control, not just following orders." That is the feeling I want for you: control, confidence, clarity. Statins are not evil, but they are not the full story. The truth about high cholesterol and statins is that you must see the whole picture of the body, the lifestyle, the risk factors, the side effects, the choices. And once you see it, you can decide with wisdom, not fear. Because health after 50 is not just about adding years, it's about adding life to those years. Before I close, I want to invite you to reflect. What small choice can you make today that lowers inflammation, brings joy, and strengthens your heart? Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a home-cooked meal. Maybe it's calling a friend to laugh and share stories. These are medicine too. Don't underestimate them. And if you found this message helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. Share this channel with friends and stay connected, because knowledge shared is health multiplied. We are building a community where truth matters, where aging is not a decline, but a season of wisdom, strength, and renewal. The truth about high cholesterol and statins is not a sentence, it's an invitation. An invitation to question, to learn, to act, and to thrive. So let's step forward together, wiser, braver, and healthier. Your story is still being written, and it can be stronger than you've ever imagined. Take the next step today.